Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. You guys interested in keeping corn snakes as pets? Or maybe breeding them as a hobby? Well, this episode's all about the corn snake. You're watching SnakeBytes. Whenever I'm asked what's the best snake to get started with, I always have one of two answers. Either a ball python or a corn snake. And for me, corn snakes are really special because they were the first snake that I actually bred when I was a kid. So they're a great starter snake, not only to keep as a pet, but also to get breeding. They come from Southeast North America, all over the place, from Georgia to Florida, all the way up into New Jersey. They only get about 4 to 5 foot long, and as you can see, they're super placid animals. Now, they get the name corn snake from two reasons. Number one, farmers used to find them in the cornfields, obviously going after the rodents that are eating the grain, but also because they have this really intricate belly pattern that reminded a lot of farmers of maize or Indian corn, hence the name corn snake. Now, the husbandry on these guys is really simple, and that's one of the reasons why they make such great starter pets. All you have to do is keep them about 80 or 82 degrees with an 85 to 87 degree hotspot, feed and water them. But hey, if you're not just a starter in the reptile world, it doesn't mean corn snakes aren't right for you. I've been keeping corn snakes for 25 years, and there is something for everyone in corn snakes. There is such a potpourri of paint jobs, it's not even funny. Things like this opal striped corn, which is basically a lavender albino striped corn. They're just beautiful. Again, there are hundreds of different varieties. But let's back up for 1 second. Let's say you want to get your first baby corn snake. Let's start with that.
Which NHL player is a great friend of Brian's? A. Pavel Datsyuk, B. Ian White, or C. Brent Burns? Answer with a comment and keep watching to see if you're right.
Here you have it. This is a baby hypomelanistic corn snake, and if you're going to get a baby corn snake, this is exactly what it's going to look like. They hatch out right this size, and again, it's the ease of care and their temperament that makes them such incredible animals. Now, the setup is super simple on these guys. You need something like this 10-gallon aquarium, a good water bowl, some bedding like this wood shavings, and again, an under tank heater that's going to keep the hot spot at about 87 degrees. But when you get a corn snake like this, I'm often asked, how do I feed it and how do I raise it? Well, fortunately, there's actually a chart that's called the Munson feeding plan for corn snakes that we go by here. It's really simple. All you're going to need is a snake, some food, and a scale. Let's move on to that scale. This is a common digital scale that you can find at any office supply store for about 20 to 30 bucks, and it's going to be really vital to have a good gram scale if you're trying to use the feeding chart that we use when we're raising our baby snakes. Now, all you have to do is weigh your snake to start with. This little guy is probably going to weigh right about 10 grams. And on that feeding chart, it says from 4 to 15 grams, you need to feed a 2 to 3 gram pinky every 4 days. Now you just have to find the right pinky. After you thaw your 2 gram pinky in warm water for probably about 10 minutes or so, you're pretty much ready to feed. All you're going to want to do is just kind of dry it off so that the bedding doesn't get stuck all over it. Now, you can feed it one of two ways. You can actually leave it in the cage overnight, and most of the time they're going to just eat it that way, or you can have some tweezers or forceps and just hand it to them, which is always kind of fun. Okay, so once your corn snake starts to grow a little bit and it's past that 15 gram mark, just like this animal is here, I happen to know it's 17 grams, which, by the way, let me just tell you, you don't want to weigh the snake the same day as you feed it. Weigh it the day before, that way you know what you're going to feed the next day and you won't get the animal stressed out. But now that she's 17 grams, I'm going to move to the next level, which is a 3 to 4 gram pinky, but you're going to want to feed 2 of them at a time, and you're going to want to feed it every 4 to 5 days. So your snake is now growing and gaining weight nicely, which is always a good thing. The next level is 24 to 30 grams, which is right where this animal is here. But you're going to bump it up from a pinky now to a fuzzy that's 5 to 7 grams. You're going to want to feed it that every 5 to 6 days. So I have my 7-gram fuzzy here, and again, you're going to feed your snake the same way as you fed them when they were pinkies. You can either leave it in overnight or put it on some forceps and hand it to them. By now, your snake should be growing, thriving, and gaining some weight. Here's the chart that I've been speaking of and the next steps in the process of raising your corn snake. So now that you guys know how to raise your corn snakes, let's look at some of the insanely cool paint jobs because there's so much to choose from, starting with this snow motley. And this Castaci sun-kissed. A black motley. A blood red or diffuse corn. Albino striped corn. Butter motley. Avalanche. There's so many corn snakes that I truly love, but I always say one of my favorites happens to be these hypo lavender striped corn snakes. I mean, just the amount of lavender and pink that's coming out makes them breathtaking. Tessera corns are really interesting because they're really the first dominant or co-dominant mutation in corn snakes, and as you can see, they're just really beautiful. They've got that really clean, bold stripe that goes down their back and that really patternless belly with the really cool side patterns. And this is a normal Tessera, but this is an albino, which is super, super cool too. I mean, just look how incredible that pattern is when it comes into the albino. But probably my favorite so far happens to be these anuthristic Tesseras, because man, they're just so incredible. The sun-kissed gene is basically started from an Okatee line, which is a location of corn snakes. It's basically a color and pattern mutation because it not only changes the color a little bit, but whacks out the head pattern, and that's where the sun-kiss actually comes from. They say that it looked like the head of the snake was kissed by the sun, which is pretty interesting. And this is a cool combination. This is a lavender corn bred into a sun-kissed. You guys know that I'm not going to talk about corn snakes and not show off my scaleless corns. I know some scaleless animals seem to be a little controversial, but I can't help it. I just love them to death. And this one has a really cool pattern. It's kind of a motley animal, and I just love the scaleless corn stuff. Of course, I can't end a corn snake show without mentioning a normal corn snake. As you guys can see, there's a potpourri of colors, and we probably only showed you about 15 or 20% of the corn snakes that we work with, let alone all the other people out there. I tell you what, corn snakes are amazing animals, great pets, and super fun to breed. You certainly should be able to find anything that you may want in a snake in a corn snake.
Hey Jamie, what are you doing for lunch, man?
Dude, I don't know, but I'm starving, bro.
I'm thinking about getting some White Castle.
Somebody say White Castle?
Yeah, dude. Jamie here thinks he can eat more than I can.
I don't think. I know, mother.
You don't know shit, dude. Come on.
Pound back some White Castles right about now.
Are you guys seriously standing here arguing about lunch?
Yeah, Shrek over here thinks because he's bigger than us, he can eat all the White Castles in the world.
Okay,
I can.
all right, fine. Well then let's prove it. Stop being little babies and we'll go and get some White Castles and you'll see who can eat more. I'll give you 10 minutes. Whoever eats the most gets a half day off work paid.
Half day
Let's
off
do it.
work? Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Alright, fine. Thought you could pound back some White Castles, Georgie.
I'm only 155 pounds.
You should throw up, dude.
Not even 10 in, and here comes the excuses. Throwing up's a DQ, right?
Yes, if you throw up, you're done.
I'm done.
Okay.
Count me out.
I'm throwing in the towel.
And Georgie is out. All that's left is you two.
6 minutes.
We have Josh with 13 finished and Jamie with only 8.
I'm still hungry.
But have you gone on the website?
Come on,
and looked
Jamie.
at the product at all?
All right, 17.
Pig salami.
Are you done?
3 more and you hit 20, Josh. You already a straight shot to win this thing. Jamie.
I'm winning no matter what.
Yeah.
10. Peace out.
All right, with 17 White Castle burgers, Josh is our winner. That's a lot of White Castle. I feel bad for your girlfriend tonight.
What? Get out! I gotta go. Come on.
You don't want to be in here, man.
I am not feeling good. Let me in.
You're gonna have to wait. This is gonna be a 2-rounder.
No, dude, I gotta go. I'm coming in.
Dude, what the heck?
Oh, it stinks it.
What are you doing?
Get the fuck up.
That never happened.
All right, the guys around here are disgusting. They're constantly trying to one-up each other by trying to see who will eat the nastiest stuff, daring them to do this and that, and I just stay out of it because I don't like puking. I want to know, what is the grossest thing you've ever eaten? Leave a comment below and let us know.
So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Corn snakes are really where I started and are incredible animals. If you guys ever want to follow any of my animal adventures, make sure to hit me up over on Facebook and Twitter at SnakeBytesTV. Until next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.
So which NHL player is pals with Brian? Well, if you guessed C, Brent Burns, you were absolutely right. Nice work.
Well, there's not a lot of animals left, being that it's the last day the shop is open, but this African spur thigh certainly caught my eyes. You guys know I keep some of these back at the shop and I absolutely love them. They're the 3rd largest tortoise in the world, getting up to 200 pounds and living over 100 years. They eat so much veggies, it's crazy. Back at the shop, I go through several heads of lettuce every single day.